In today's video, we're going to cover the Continental Mark III. This is a car that Lee Iacocca considered one of his greatest successes. And I know what you're thinking. How could a guy who was part of the creative process of the Mustang, he brought the Maverick to market, he was one of the first people to bring the minivan to market, the whole segment. How could he consider the Continental Mark III one of his greatest successes? You have to take a look at where this car came from. Lee Iacocca asked his design team to attach a Rolls-Royce grille to a Thunderbird, and he liked the look of it. Not only that, Henry Ford II loved it, so that car got green-lighted right away. You see, Ford was looking for a competitor to Cadillac's Eldorado, and both Lee Iacocca and Henry Ford II thought maybe the Continental Mark III could be that car. So let's take a look at the Continental Mark III, and at the end of the video, I'll tell you why Lee Iacocca considered this car such a winner.
Continuing as the top Continental offering for 1969 is the incomparable Continental Mark III. This authoritative styled, individually decisive motor car has no peer. The Mark III is America's most prestigious automobile. Wherever men of means and taste congregate, the Continental Mark III belongs. A special symbol of status attained by only a very few. Continental Mark III.
The Continental Mark III was unveiled March of 1968 at the running of the 12 Hours of Sebring. It was an early 1969 model, and sales would begin in April of 1968. The Mark III was built on the Thunderbird platform, however it looked nothing like the Thunderbird. The front of the car featured a long hood, a Rolls-Royce inspired grille, hideaway headlamps, fenders with wraparound parking and turn signal indicators, and a large chrome bumper that extended into the lower sections of the front fenders. The top of the front fender's bodyline was accented by chrome trim. This extended along the length of the car, over the doors, and ended at the top of the rear quarter at its wraparound tail lamps and rear turn signal indicators. The rear of the car featured a non-functional circular bulge stamped into the trunk lid that gave the impression of a spare tire. It also featured a large chrome rear bumper that housed the backup lights and wrapped into the quarter panels. The standard engine powering the Mark III would be the largest of the 385 series, the 365 horsepower, 460 cubic inch V8 topped by a 4-barrel carburetor. This engine put down 500 pound-feet of torque at 2,800 RPM and required premium fuel. It was mated to a select shift 3-speed automatic transmission. The Mark III was considered to be the finest car in the Ford/Lincoln/Mercury lineup, and it was appointed with a long list of standard equipment. Those items include power steering, brakes, windows, and two-way power seats, a dual aluminized stainless steel exhaust, variable speed wipers, a vanity mirror, a full interior lighting package, and a full warning light package. Optional equipment included leather seating surfaces, a tilt wheel, automatic temperature control, power door locks, an automatic headlamp dimmer, speed control, 6-way power seats with passenger recline, tinted glass, a vinyl roof, a remote trunk release, automatic ride control, rear window defroster, white sidewall dual chamber tires, and a mix of audio systems with the top of the line being the combination AM radio / stereosonic tape system, and for the first time, anti-lock brakes called SureTrack. The suspension was set up for a smooth and quiet ride and not necessarily for handling. The rear axle ratio was a high 2.80 to 1 with a 3.00 to 1 as optional. The power steering pump wasn't belt driven, it utilized a crankshaft mounted hydraulic pump. The listed price of a base Continental Mark III came in at $6,741. That would be over $60,000 in 2024 money. The automotive press wasn't receptive to this car, however the American public certainly approved. Ford had hoped to outsell the Cadillac Eldorado at some point during this car's production. However, they didn't expect to do it in the first year. Lincoln dealers delivered 30,858 Mark IIIs for the 1969 model year. That was 7,000 more than Cadillac had produced Eldorados.
Continental Mark III. This generation's most distinguished motor car is the automobile of stars, celebrities, and world leaders. In keeping with its timeless image, there are only minor refinements. The Mark III's grille can only be copied, not improved upon. Continental's stylish lines receive new emphasis with concealed windshield wipers. New wheel covers adorn America's only standard steel-belted radial tires. There's also a new standard short-track braking system for surer stops. Tasteful ornamentation. Vinyl roof and classic rear deck remain. And exterior color choices have been expanded to include new glamour paints like this olive stardust metallic. The most significant changes occur in what already must be the most luxurious interiors ever built into a production motor car, beginning with an automatic seat-back release. There's a new genuine walnut instrument panel applique, rarely found even on custom-built cars. New oval steering wheel with rim blow feature. New door panel that mounts a power command console. And there's an automatic time delay map light to ease nighttime driving. The Mark III is America's most completely appointed car, with the Cartier clock and its chronometer movement. Header console, warning lights, and rear lamp monitor system. Power, precision handling, unmatched ride. Continental Mark III. The privileged automobile for those privileged few who demand the very best.
The 1970 model year brought a few changes to the Continental Mark III. The vinyl roof and rim blow steering wheel became standard equipment. The windshield wipers were now concealed, interior wood appliques were now genuine walnut, and Michelin X radial tires were now standard equipment. That was a first for a U.S. automaker. Additional changes to meet federal safety standards include moving the ignition switch from the dash to a locking steering column, adding red reflectors to the car's rear bumper, and adding yellow reflectors to the front parking lamps. There were no other changes of note, and Lincoln dealers delivered 21,432 Continental Mark IIIs for the 1970 model year. 1971 was mostly a carryover year for the Mark III. Tinted glass, automatic climate control air conditioning, and SureTrack anti-lock brakes all became standard equipment. Sales remained strong, with Lincoln dealers delivering 27,091 Mark IIIs for the 1971 model year. Now, to answer the question from the beginning of the video, Lee Iacocca saw this as one of his greatest successes because this is one of the most profitable cars that Ford ever built. They used an existing platform, the Thunderbird. They developed this car for $30 million, and sure, that's a lot of money, but to develop a new car, it's not so much. The reason it was so profitable is because it was so expensive. You see, Ford, like any other business, has a percentage on its products. And of course, the higher the number, the higher the profits are going to be. The percentage stays the same, but if you charge more, you're going to make more. Ford wanted to beat Cadillac with this car, the Eldorado, and the Mark III outsold the Eldorado every year of its production. That's also something that Lee Iacocca could point to as a success story. The success of this car would lead to additional Continental Marks. They built these cars all the way up to 1998. Good news if you're fans of Continental Mark 7s. I have a similar video over here. We cover that car in great detail. Now, if you like this video, please hit the like button. That helps other people see it. And consider subscribing. I've got a lot of content like this on the channel. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Till next time, we'll see you.